Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural Calloway County High School Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony. Today we are honored to honor a remarkable group of athletes, teams, coaches, and supporters who have made an impact on not only Calloway County schools, but Calloway County athletics. These individuals and teams exemplify excellence, leadership, perseverance, a love for a game, a love for our school, and a love for our community. Their dedication and their accomplishment has inspired generations of Lakers and will continue to do so in the future. On behalf of the Calloway County Board of Education, our Superintendent, Mr. Trey Settle, and the Calloway County Hall of Fame Committee, again, I want to welcome you to today's ceremony. In today's ceremony, we will recognize 7 individual athletes, 2 state championship teams, a coach, and 3 contributors that have excelled during their time here in Calloway County schools. As I looked across the cafeteria this morning, my heart is full. It was so good to see everyone back together, to hear the stories, the laughter. I can only imagine one place that will be better than it was this morning, and that's heaven. But today is a good day. Today is a good day. And it's so good to have you back, back in Calloway County Schools, some of you for the first time in a long time. But as I said when we started breakfast, it's good to have you home. A few thank yous before we get started. Again, I want to thank our Board of Education and Mr. Settle. Again, this project started in 2019. Then there was something called a pandemic that put the brakes on it for a little bit, and then trying to come out of the pandemic was, well, at least troublesome. And then we had everything set, and then our friend Fern, Winter Storm Fern, decided to come and back it up a little bit. But today is a day we've worked for a long time. And so I want to thank my fellow Hall of Fame committee members, Mr. Randy McCallum, Colonel Bill Cowan, Miss Yvette Pyle, Miss Terry Futrell, Coach Troy Webb, Miss Christy Provine, Coach Josh Smith, and the others, these next several have joined us when we started. Mr. Bill Crick, Tim Barrett, Paul Wayne Garrison, Melissa Green, and Vicki White. If you join me in a round of applause for those individuals. We want to thank our high school administration for allowing us to use our gym this morning. We want to thank the Calloway County High School cafeteria staff. How about that breakfast? Former and present coaches, players, fans that are here today, our inductees and their families and friends. Mr. Wright from the Murray Ledger and Times, again, has been a faithful supporter of Calloway County sports and Laker Nation as a whole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we move into if you would turn your attention quickly to the screen to your left, I want to show you, most of you saw it in the cafeteria, but Calloway County Schools opted to do something different when it came to Calloway County, the Hall of Fame. And so if you'll notice, as you look to your left, I don't get whiplash, I'm going to ask you to look to your right. If you look up there by the concession stand, you'll see the Athletic Hall of Fame. We have a touchscreen virtual Hall of Fame that has been implemented and will record not only our Hall of Fame, but as years go by, we'll also include things related to academics and attendance, as well as Laker for Life history. We're in the process of collecting every yearbook. 65 yearbooks will be available. So if you want to know what Coach McKeel looked like with hair, you can go to 1997 and take a look. And so that will eventually be right over there. The other cool thing is that, as you noticed in there, you can take it with you. So if you have a phone, I know it looks blurry. That's what it looks like when I take my glasses off. But if you'll take a picture of that, you can open it, and you can take our Hall of Fame with you wherever you go. You'll be able to flip through and do those things. So I'll give you just a second. Because if you noticed, if you had the time to look at it either in the cafeteria or here, you'll notice not only does it have all of our bio information, it has some outstanding pictures, there's some videos, there's championship teams, there's some of our record boards. This is a work in progress. But the ultimate goal is when someone wants to know about Calloway County athletics, academics, Calloway County schools, that will be a one-stop shop, and we'll be able to highlight the so many great things that have happened in Calloway County schools. So if you get that and you click on it, the first thing you're going to come to is the cover screen. And again, there'll be pictures in those things. Right now, the only tab there is athletics. If you click on the athletics tab, then you'll go to Hall of Fame, championship teams, and records. Like I said, championship teams are a work in progress. The record books are a work in progress. But if you clicked Hall of Fame, Then you'll go to individuals, teams, coaches, contributors, those that we're recognizing today. The induction ceremony is being recorded and will be available as well. And then there's also the nomination form, which we'll talk about at the end of today's assembly. If you click individuals, then you're going to come to this page. If you'll click on those individuals, like I said, there's pictures, there's a biography that has been written, and there's pictures and videos that you can view. So I encourage you to take that with you. It is available on our website as well, but it's, again, a one-stop shop for all things Calloway County Hall of Fame at this time. All right, with that being said, just a little bit of housekeeping. The way this will work is I will introduce, we'll start with our individuals, then we'll go with our teams, followed by our coach, and then our contributors. I will read I was going to say a brief summary of highlights. Some of it's not always brief, but the great thing is I've learned a lot through this process about the outstanding people that we're recognizing today. After I read the information, I'll welcome that individual or team down here. If you'll come down, Colonel Bill Cowan will present you with your plaque. At that time, they will have the opportunity to address the crowd. And then once you've spoken, again, return to your seats. And I will say, if you're able to, Mr. Wright has requested from the Murray Ledger and Times, once we're done, group photos of everyone who's recognized today. So that is the plan. And so without further ado, let the induction ceremony, the inaugural induction ceremony of the Calloway County High School Athletic Hall of Fame begin. Our first inductee is Miss Kalyn Fox. Kalyn is a 2005 graduate, and her career defined excellence, leadership, and team-first success. She was a multi-sport athlete, playing softball and basketball, and demonstrated versatility and commitment in both programs. On the softball diamond, she showed dominance. Her pitching record was 68-27. She collected 1,050 strikeouts, had an ERA of .60. Her championship success, her offensive standout as well, batted .410 for her career batting average and had 30 triples in her career. Her success, along with her contributions of her teammates, led to championship success, district championships, Region 1 championship in 2004, and as we know, the 2004 KHSAA state championship. Some of her postseason accolades include, in 2004 regional tournament, she pitched a perfect game and batted .650 in that tournament. In the 2004 state tournament, 41 innings pitched in 2 days, a record of 5-1 with a batting average of .381. And she delivered under pressure at the highest level. Some of her recognitions include the KHSAA State Tournament MVP in 2004, the Marine Corps Sportsmanship Award, two-time first-team All-State in 2004 and 2005, Kentucky Prep West All-Star 2004, 2005, and when she was inducted into the Kentucky Prep Hall of Fame in 2010. If you ask about her, she's known for her work ethic, her team-first mindset, and her leadership by example. She continued her playing career at the University of Eastern Kentucky University from 2005 to 2009, where she received the honors of OVC All-Newcomer Team in 2006, the OVC Medal of Honor, Academic All-District Selection, the Lowe's Senior Class Award Top 30 Candidate, and second team All-OVC in 2009. She showcased her versatility by playing every position except for catcher during her time as a colonel. She's the daughter of Tom and Kathy Fox and thanks them for their strong support as a credit to her success. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Kalyn Fox.
Good morning. Get my notes out because otherwise I'll take forever. Okay, so I'm incredibly grateful for this award and want to sincerely thank Troy, Coach McKill, Mr. McCallum, and everyone who put together such a wonderful event today. I want to thank each of my teammates and coaches for their hard work, time, blood, sweat, and tears that went into not only getting us to the state tournament, but winning it. That success came after many years of dedication, and while it required sacrifice from us all, it was an unforgettable experience filled with joy, friendship, fun, and pride. Thank you as well to our families, teachers, school staff, and fans who continually supported us and cheered us on throughout our time at Calloway. Your encouragement meant more to us than you'll ever know. I'd like to thank my dad for going into work early every single day so he was off in time to coach us and for being there for me and our team. His sacrifice has never gone unnoticed by me, and I'm most thankful to have my dad as my coach. Thank you to him and all of our coaches, Coach Pig, Eddie, Troy, and CJ, for the countless hours strategizing on how to continuously make our team better. Thank you, Dad, for your dedication in securing and building a new softball field for us as well, something that will benefit athletes for years to come. Thank you to my mom for always making sure I had everything I needed at every game, whether it was food, a forgotten uniform, medicine, or anything else required to be game ready. Thank you for helping to run concession stands, fundraisers, car washes, for staying up late washing uniforms caked in dirt. Thank you for making it to every game and encouraging me when I felt like I wasn't good enough. She always has been my biggest cheerleader, and I'm deeply grateful for her constant support. I also want to thank both of my parents for the countless trips to Club K in Nashville on Sunday and Wednesday afternoons, often not getting home until midnight and then having to get up and go to work or school the next morning. The time, energy, and financial support they dedicated to me is something I'll never forget. Thank you for my brother for making me tough in sports and in life, but also knowing when to pick me up anytime I was knocked down. And thank you for my family and friends that are here today with me celebrating. And last but most certainly not least, I want to thank the man upstairs for always being with me. I'm forever grateful for how he listened to every prayer for one more strike, one more hit, one more run. Even if each moment didn't turn out like I wanted it to, he was always there giving me comfort and peace. I thank him for giving our team strength and endurance when we were exhausted, especially during our 22-inning game that felt like it lasted a lifetime. And fun fact with that, because of that 22-inning game, they changed the Kentucky rules, and no longer are they allowed to let the games go on like that. And I want to thank him for being present in every second of every game during the state tournament and for never leaving our side as the caliber of competition rose. It was truly a mixture of his divine intervention, our work ethic, skill, and teamwork, and perfect timing that made us victorious. Again, I thank you for this award, but I wouldn't be getting it without my teammates standing beside me at school, at practice, and at every game. So ladies, this award is as much yours as it is mine, and it's been an honor to be your teammate and friend. Thank you.
Our next inductee this morning, Mr. Casey Brockman. Casey was a 2009 graduate of Calloway County High School, where he excelled both in football and in baseball, lettering in football from 2005 to 2008 and in baseball from 2005 to 2009. He demonstrated leadership early and was named captain of his football and baseball team, and he's known for a sense of accountability, competitiveness, and commitment to excellence. His football achievements are many, one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in school history. In his career, he threw for 3,417 passing yards in 2008, 41 passing touchdowns in 2008, 73 career touchdowns, and 6,098 total passing yards in his career. Some of his memorable highlights include a 6-touchdown game in the semi-state playoff and throwing a touchdown pass in 24 consecutive games. He helped lead his team to the deepest playoff run in Calloway County school history and received honors of All-State in 2007 and 2008 and was an All-West Kentucky Conference selection. While he was outstanding on the football field, he also excelled on the diamond. He had a dominant senior year in 2009 with a .552 batting average, an on-base percentage of .629, and had 22 stolen bases. He received recognition as a first-team All-State, the Region 1 Player of the Year, and a second-team USA Today All-American. While he excelled on the playing field, he also valued being more than that off of the field. He emphasized inspiring others to pursue their dreams and hoped to be remembered by how he treated other people. He actively supported other sports and would attend games and travel to support his teammates and embodied true school spirit and community pride. Following graduation, he continued his football career at Murray State University, where he became one of the program's all-time great quarterbacks. He broke multiple passing records, career and single game, and was recently inducted into the Murray State Athletic Hall of Fame in 2025. He had a strong support system: his parents Tab and Beth Brockman, his brother Tyler, and his wife Maddie. He credits his family as part of his key success. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Casey Brockman.
That'll work. Thank you, Coach McKeel. So when Randy McCallum called me late last year and told me that they were starting the Calloway Hall of Fame, I was so excited because there's so many athletes, teams, and supporters that have come through here that deserve to be recognized. I'm so honored to be included in this inaugural class, and there's so many people in this class that I looked up to and have memories of over the past 30 years. Some of you will remember the old football wall of fame in the field house. When I was a junior, I recreated that on the computer, added a plaque with my name on it, and had it in my football locker as motivation. My goal was to be mentioned in the same breath as names I wrote up there, like the Ryan brothers, Josh McKeel, Jared Linke, and obviously Pookie Jones. I could talk for hours about some of the inductees. Averee Fields was the most dominant high school basketball player I've ever seen. Brooke Lencki was my babysitter. So to be in the same class with some of these folks, very, very neat. So this is kind of like a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's just not the 4 years of high school you think of. It's Little League, it's middle school. It's brought back tons of memories. So my Little League football coaches, and both of them are in attendance today, Al Linke and my dad. And I'll always remember watching my dad draw plays up on the kitchen table, thinking he was Vince Lombardi. Hey, Tab, we were 10 years old, man. Let's just stick to like toss left, toss right, and just let's hope we don't fumble the snap. This Christmas, my mom pulled out some old Little League basketball footage, and it made me remember how cool it was to play right here in Jeffrey Gymnasium with Stan Key's jersey hanging on the wall. However, I am here today to publicly apologize. I'm sorry to my teammates in those 3rd and 4th grade years. From the film that I got to watch, I didn't pass much, so my apologies. Then you start thinking about middle school and the fun we had with Mitch Ryan as our JV head baseball coach and winning the JV regional tournament in Ballard Memorial. Or Troy Webb coaching us in 8th grade football, playing in the championship game against Paducah Tillman. And, Coach, if my memory is correct, we might have got hosed by the Tillman clock keeper, but that's another story for another day. So once I got to high school, I did some soul searching. I didn't think Coach Lane would have much use for a 5'10", slow-footed guard that couldn't shoot, couldn't dribble, and didn't want to play defense. So I decided to focus on baseball and football. In high school, people would tell us all the time, these are the games and the days that you'll remember forever. At that time, I thought, yeah, right, they're so full of it, but they weren't. I was fortunate enough to play in some very cool stadiums, very cool games in college, but there's truly nothing like playing football under the lights at Jack D. Rose Stadium or playing in the big district or regional tournament game under the baseball lights. Unfortunately, those same memories are the same ones that still haunt me 20 years later, like losing 2-1 in the regional semis to Heath or giving up a home run with 2 outs in the 7th inning to lose the regular season district title, and of course, the final minute of the state semifinals where we were only 1 play away from the state championship game. All those memories, both good and bad, helped make me the person that I am today. Sports teach you hard work, how to be part of a team, how to overcome adversity, and it makes you prepared for the ups and downs that life's going to throw your way. I know I'm going to leave some people out, and I'm sorry, but there are a few coaches and teachers that I want to thank. Josh McKeel, Steve Smith, and Zach Hobbs. These are my 3 head coaches during my time. Coach McKeel was a head football coach. Coach Smith and Coach Hobbs were both baseball head coaches. I think it says a lot about what all 3 of these guys mean to me that 20 years later I still have a great relationship with all 3 of them. They supported us playing multiple sports. They worked together and were supportive of balancing weightlifting, games, workouts from each sport. All 3 of them made sports fun, but all 3 of them taught me so much about discipline and the hard work of what it took to be a good player. They also showed me that you can lead in different ways. Their coaching styles were very different, but they were all equally effective, and I'm so grateful for their friendships and them being the role models and people that I still look up to this day. Brian Wilmerth and Yvette Pyle, they were my principals in high school at various times. They were both so supportive of athletics, and obviously Miss Pyle is still here today. Or here today, not still here. I'm not, that was bad. However, and Coach McKeel, you might know this too, but I did just get off the phone with the KHSAA this morning. They're still trying to track down that coach that got ejected in that Bullitt East game. So if you can find him, let me know. Some assistant coaches that put in countless hours as well. Ryan Marchetti, Mike Voiles, Jared Linke, Eddie Morris, Chris Bynum, Joe DeBella, Jacob Toney, Tracy Cleaver, and Joe Crittenden. There are two teachers who I became extremely close with and were huge supporters of not only me but all my teammates and all the student athletes, and that's Jacob Falwell and John Williams. To all my teammates in both football and baseball, thank you. There are too many great players to mention everyone, but you can't complete a pass without a good offensive line or great receivers to catch the ball. You can't score runs without other people getting on base, and you can't get outs without a good defense. I'm not standing up here today if it weren't for being on some teams or some of the best teams in Calloway County history. Last but certainly not least, Colonel Cowan. Everybody knows what Colonel has done for Calloway County High School. He embodies everything that this school is about. He is too humble to allow himself to be in the inaugural class, so I wanted to go ahead and nominate Colonel to be in next year's Hall of Fame class. There's nobody more deserving than Colonel Cowan. Lastly, I want to thank my family. My brother Tyler was a senior when I was a freshman, so getting to play sports with him for just a year was special. We were only on the field together one time for a few plays against Hopkinsville. It was an utter disaster for me, and if you would have told me I'd be standing up here today after that performance, I'd have laughed in your face. My parents, Tab and Beth, you never missed a game. You took me to every practice, volunteered to do anything and everything, from Thursday night dinners during football season to being in charge of the concession stand for baseball. I'm so grateful for how you raised me, and I couldn't have asked for better parents. My wife, Maddie, and I met while we were at Murray State, and she's been by my side for 15 years. She couldn't be here today because she's 37 weeks pregnant, so we're excited about that. But if you want to know what it means to be a Laker for life, so we live in St. Louis, and a few weeks ago I told her that we're going to have to move. She was very confused, asked me why. I said, well, I found out the high school in our district is black and gold and their mascot's a tiger, so that's not going to fly. Huge thank you to the Hall of Fame committee and everyone involved in making today possible. Congratulations to all the inductees, and I can't wait to see how this Hall of Fame continues to grow in the years to come. Go Lakers.
Our next inductee is Ms. Averee Fields. Averee is a 2011 graduate of Calloway County High School, where she helped elevate Calloway County Lady Laker basketball to new heights. She was a member of 3 regional championship appearances in 4 years. She played a major role in bringing statewide attention to Region 1 basketball, and she's known for her ability to lead and perform in high-pressure moments. Individual recognition included national recognition, as she was ranked number 80 in the nation of the ESPN Hoop Girls Top 100. State honors include First Team All-State in 2011 and Second Team All-State in 2010. Regional dominance, being named Region 1 Player of the Year twice. Statistically, she was excellent and one of the most complete players in program history. Her senior year, she averaged 23.5 points a game, 13.1 rebounds, 3.5 steals, 2.9 assists, and 2.6 blocks per game. Her junior year, 24.6 points per game average, led Region 1, where she averaged again in her junior year 12.4 rebounds, and her accuracy was 57.9% shooting. She demonstrated versatility, efficiency, and basketball IQ. Major highlights include competing in the 2011 KHSAA State Final Four, selected for the Indiana and Kentucky All-Star Game, a McDonald's All-American nominee, and the 2011 Mansfield Scholarship Award winner. She had a record-setting career, leaving as the all-time leading scorer with 2,450 points and the all-time leading rebounder with 1,387 rebounds, again reflecting her consistency, durability, and dominance. She was a 3-year team captain and team MVP. She led with confidence, poise, and a competitive drive, and her jersey was retired in 2017. Her personal reflections, she emphasized joy of playing with her teammates and pride in representing Calloway County and the region, and is remembered for her energy, her teamwork, and her love of the game. Following her playing career here at Calloway County Schools, she played at West Virginia University from 2011 to 2015. Her achievements include becoming a 1,000-point career scorer, in NCAA tournament appearances for 3 years, and was co-captain of the WNIT championship game team. She continued to demonstrate work ethic and leadership. Strong family support allowed her to do that. Her parents, Sabrina and John Hooper, and Andre and Dee Dee Fields. Siblings, Shamika Dow, Aria Fields, Dre Fields, and Alec Fields. Avery's legacy continues, and her time in Calloway County uniform was Hall of Fame worthy. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Averee Fields.
So, of course, thank you to the committee. It is an honor to be here in this inaugural class, and I'm excited. I've learned so much already about just the talent that's come out of Calloway County, so very exciting. And to the Lady Lakers this year, I know many of you got to watch and cheer them on, and I was cheering from Ohio as well, so very exciting. So, there are a lot of people I'd love to thank by name, and I'm not going to run through it because the list would be so long. But reflecting on the career I've had at Calloway, I have so many memories. But I'll be honest, very few of them have anything to do with the games. Racing cars to sirloin, sleepovers, singing on the bus, making beats and shedding real tears in the locker room, the ice bath, endless Sweet 16s, and not the fun ones, the running ones. Mile Mondays, which, come on, did we really have to make Mondays any worse? I truly could go on and on because, as cliche as it sounds, basketball was more than just a game. It was not always easy and not always fun. There were times that it felt like it took up too much space in my life, but my teammates made it all worth it. Now, there are some memories related to basketball, of course, half-court shots, a block charge call, which still confuses me, overtime wins, 30-point games, our lethal matchup zone, and for those who are not basketball privy, it was hard to stop, it was hard to play against, which was great. A rare 10 for 10 from the free throw line, and of course, regional championships. Those big wins were priceless, and I honestly wish I could relive my senior year over and over again. But here we are, 15 whole years later. I know, it hurts. And what do I take away from that? It's the people. God gifted me with a sacrificial cheerleader mom who taught me discipline, commitment, and love for God and the game. Supportive family and friends, and incredible coaches, managers, trainers, and teammates who are in it with me every single day. And lastly, teachers and principals. I know there are a few here today, and there's so many to name because, man, did I love going to school at Calloway. I loved coming to school each and every day. I loved every single teacher that I had. I'm so grateful. With God and people, there are endless opportunities to thrive, and there is joy available in every season of life. Now, the Goliaths that I face are no longer Marshall County or Murray. Some are even scarier than Rockcastle. But with my faith and my people, I will continue to face them head on, and I hope you can do the same. Thank you.
Our next inductee could not join us today, but our next inductee is Mr. Robert Pookie Jones, Jr. Mr. Pookie was a 1990 graduate of Calloway County High School and a star athlete in both football and baseball, where he demonstrated elite ability across multiple sports at a high level. In his football career, he began as a running back, transitioned to quarterback, and was a team captain as a senior, known for his athleticism, his leadership, and again, his football knowledge. His historic honors and recognitions include the Gatorade Player of the Year, Kentucky Mr. Football in 1990, First Team All-State, Courier Journal, and AP, Associated Press Male Athlete of the Year, USA Today Male Athlete of the Year, and the Tennessee-Kentucky All-Star Game MVP. When asked about his memorable moments, he stated he never lost to rival Murray High School as a starter. And his signature moment was a 99-yard touchdown play that he still remembers to this day. He's remembered for game-changing ability and big play moments. His jersey number 4 was retired, which is, again, a recognition of his commitment and excellence. His collegiate career, after leaving Calloway County Schools, he continued at the University of Kentucky as a two-sport athlete, where he competed in football and baseball and was a 3-year starter in both sports. In the 1994 Major League Baseball draft, in the 14th round, he was drafted by the Colorado Rockies. In his personal life, his wife Betty and his children Leslie, Trevor, Jacob, and Brody, again, continue to motivate him to this day. Mr. Pookie Jones was an outstanding athlete, not only here, but at the University of Kentucky, and an outstanding person. Ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee, Mr. Robert Pookie Jones, Jr. Our next inductee is Ms. Brooke Lencki-Kennedy. a 2000 graduate, and had accomplishments as a multi-sport athlete here in Calloway County Schools. She competed in 3 sports at a high level: in soccer from 97 to 99, basketball from 96 to 2000, and track and field from 1995 to 1999, demonstrating rare versatility and sustained excellence, and she also served as a team captain in all 3 sports. On the soccer pitch, one of the most dominant players in program history, regional scoring leader in 1998 and 1999, 42 goals in the season, 86 career goals. She tied state records with 8 goals in a single game, and honors she received include 2-time first-team All-State, Regional Player of the Year in 1999, and 3-time Team MVP. She helped lead the program to key milestones, including the historic first win over Murray High School. Her basketball career just as outstanding, known as a point guard for her court vision, her defensive intensity, and her leadership. Her career highlights include 2nd all-time in assists with 157, 3rd all-time in steals at 106, and the single game record of 9 steals in 1 game. Her honors on the court include 2-time MVP, All-Purchase Team in 98-99, and All-State Honorable Mention in 1999. Her track and field success just as impressive. In 1999, she was a state champion in the 300-meter hurdles. She set the regional and state record at 45.29 seconds and also placed 4th in the state as an 8th grader. Her honors include All-State First Team in 1999 and a 2-time team MVP. Other recognitions include she was named the Biokinetics Female Athlete of the Year in 1998-99, a finalist for the Kentucky Female Athlete of the Year, selected Who's Who in sports, and was a 4.0 GPA valedictorian of her class. She continued her playing career at receiving a full scholarship to Murray State University and continued her playing career at the University of Evansville, competing at the collegiate level for all 4 years. She's a daughter of Al and Sheila Lencki, the wife of Mark Kennedy, and the mother of Zach, Molly, and Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Brooke Lencki-Kennedy.
At this moment, I 100% regret not preparing a speech. Everyone did phenomenal before me, but I do just want to thank you guys, the committee, everyone that was involved. This is a great honor. Awesome to be a part of the inaugural member. But just thank you. This was such a great school to go to. I look back at my high school, middle school, elementary school days, and there's so many memories I have. I don't even know where to start. But just thanks to my parents, my family, my brothers, I really think they shaped me for who I am. I don't know if you know any of them, but my Jared, I'm sure you guys know, I remember a story that he told me one time. When we were young, we would always play with the boys and girls in the neighborhood, and he said when his friends started picking me first for the teams, he knew that something was going to be good with my life, I guess. So anyway, but just thank you so much. Calloway is in excellent hands with the people like Josh and Colonel Kalyn that are taking the reins. So good luck. Thanks.
Just a few comments. First of all, I should have added that she was Casey's babysitter. That was an accomplishment, right? Coach Link, I'm sorry, but I would have picked her first too. Our next inductee is Mr. Stan Key. Stan was a 1968 graduate and is a member known for his athletic excellence, leadership, and lifelong service. Stan was a multi-sport athlete and excelled in both basketball and baseball, played multiple positions in both sports, again, showing his athleticism and his deep understanding of the game. He also served in leadership roles as the basketball team captain in 1967 and 68. He had a historic basketball career and one of the greatest players in school history. His senior year, he finished with 1,997 career points, a record that stood for 57 years. Senior season dominance, he averaged 29.6 points per game, 13.6 rebounds, and 5.0 assists. One notable performance was a 53-point game, one of the best in school history. His state and regional honors include All-State sophomore through senior years, All-State first team senior year, Kentucky Mr. Basketball finalist. All-Star selections included Kentucky-Indiana All-Star Game, where he was served as a starter, as well as the Kentucky East-West All-Star Game, also as a starter. His regional dominance was represented by 3 times All-Purchase Area First Team, 2-time Purchase Area Player of the Year, and was named Player of the Decade for the 1960s. His jersey number 30 has been retired in 1968, and he was inducted in the Calloway County Basketball Hall of Fame in 2010. Following his career at Calloway County Schools, he played at the University of Kentucky under legendary coach Adolph Rupp. His achievements included All-SC sophomore team co-captain his senior year, and is among a few players in UK history with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists in a game. His honors included, while at Kentucky, the Claude Sullivan Memorial Award for assist, the Albert B. Chandler Trophy for character, leadership, and scholarship, and being named All-SEC honorable mention. His team success while at Kentucky, he contributed to 3 SEC championship teams, 3 NCAA tournament appearances, and 2 NCAA regional final teams, and was part of a historic era in Kentucky basketball. Beyond athletics, he dedicated himself to service and leadership with a 27-year career with the University of Kentucky Alumni Association, where he retired in 2017 as the Director of Alumni Affairs. He is supported by his wife, Mary Jane Key, and his children and grandchildren. And please help me welcome to the podium Mr. Stan Key.
Wow. It feels kind of different being here today than it did some 60-something years ago. But first, I want to thank the committee for my selection into this inaugural Hall of Fame. I know I've worked closely with Josh and Randy and Troy and leading up to this, and I know there were many other committee members who had a big part in that also. It's really an honor to be a part of this distinguished group of individuals and teams that are being recognized today. I've conducted many of these kind of Hall of Fame ceremonies before, and I certainly know how much work goes into it. Fortunately, I didn't have the challenges that you all have had with this one, considering COVID, and then in January having to reschedule due to the weather and all of that. But I commend you for following through with it and finally having the ceremony today. It means a lot to those of us who are being inducted in this class. I'm probably one of the few, I see a few others, but one of the few who even go back to the Calloway County days of athletics prior to Calloway County High School. And that goes back to the county schools of Hazel. I'm going to say Hazel first, okay? Hazel, New Concord, Lynn Grove, Elmo, Faxon, Kirksey. I think that's it. And so those were the schools that were playing basketball when I was growing up as a 6- and 7-year-old. And we would always come to Calloway to have the end of the year junior high tournament or 7th, 8th grade tournament. Of course, at Hazel and all these other schools, we were still playing on wooden backboards. Most of you here cannot imagine this, I know. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear about the history, but it means a lot to me. But they were wooden backboards, and you had double center lines, so that the court was so short that you had one line for getting across the court and then the other going the other way. And so when we came to play here at Calloway in that tournament, believe it or not, that basketball comes off that glass a lot faster than it does off of a wooden backboard. And so it was a huge adjustment when you would come in here and try to shoot a layup. And when we first came in, it'd go off the board and bounce out to the free throw lane. And so you really had to learn to use a little softer touch in going up with it. And then the length of the floor was also a big factor too. But that's one of my earlier memories of Calloway County High School. And another, when I was a player, we were watching the NCAA games last night and talking about the shoes, all the different color shoes that players wear today. And I can remember as a freshman, there was one shoe. And some of you know what that was. That was the Chuck Taylor Converse All-Star High Top, white high top. And I can remember that it was $9.95 is what it cost. And today, I think players get a new pair of shoes for every game. But for us, those shoes, or maybe one more pair, had to make it through the season. So by the end of the season, it was pretty slick. You didn't have a lot of grip on the bottom of that sole. But those were some of the things that I remember from playing here. We had great teams. Those teams went all the way back to those other county schools that I mentioned earlier. There was one goal that I or our teams did not quite meet, and that was getting to the state tournament and having to play for a state championship. And I've been so glad to see in recent years, I don't know, was it 2014, 15 maybe, the first boys basketball state tournament appearance? I think somewhere in that area. I may be off on the years. But since then, there have been multiple ones. And so I've always enjoyed keeping up with the teams and watching those who are able to go on and compete in that state tournament, because that had to be really a thrill for you. I know when I went to Kentucky, and I was there, and then even a few years after that, I'd have people come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You played at Calloway County High School. You all played in the state tournament in 1967, 68. You had 23 points and all this." I said, no, I didn't. And they'd look at me, and I said, "We never did make it." And they'd look at me and say, "Are you sure you didn't play in the state tournament?" And I said, "I think that's one thing I would have remembered through my basketball experiences." But it's good to see the Calloway teams at that level now and competing year in and year out for those kind of championships. Mary Jane and I had 4 wonderful years here at Calloway as a student, and then many more since then. And I appreciate her support, of me then and through UK and through all the other times. This is especially an honor because even with collegiate experiences at UK, something like this for your high school really means a lot, and it means more to me than any of the others that I would have received. Of course, being here was only possible from my parents, the support that they provided when I was growing up, giving me every opportunity you could have to participate in sports. And in fact, and Clayton Hargrove may remember this, I don't think he could stay, but as a 9-year-old little leaguer in baseball, I wanted to quit the team. I just didn't think I wanted to do that, and they made me stay on the team, which I'm very thankful for that, because that allowed me to continue to compete and helped me develop the skills, I think, to go on in basketball as I did. Along with them, other family members, the teachers here at Calloway, the principals, the coaches, all my teammates were responsible for me being here today. Fortunately, I had a coach in Roy Cothran who allowed me the freedom to pretty well shoot anytime I wanted to shoot, and teammates who I think were okay with that too. And I know if they counted assist then as they count assists today, there were some players like Henry Armstrong and Clayton and Darrell Cleaver, Brad's father, and others that would have assist records, but they counted them a little different in those days. But all of those years were very meaningful. Other coaches, starting out at Hazel, a Baxter Wheatley, and then here at Calloway, a Howard Crittenden, who were very instrumental in helping me develop and be able to achieve what I did individually in sports. I had another coach, too, that was very important, and I think he's here today. I think he stayed. Harold Bynum. Harold, you here? Yeah. Harold. When I came back from UK, we moved back to Murray, played on an independent team, and Harold and Happy were our coaches. and we had some pretty good teams, didn't we, Harold, at that time? And they were good coaches, too. And I also want to mention them. In the 60s, they were doing what I'm sure they're doing now. I mean, I remember them as a player, them going to being at every home game, and if not every, almost every away game. So it's amazing that you have people who are supportive as they have been, and it's one of the things that I think makes it really worthwhile in being a player and participating, is when you know that you have people like that who are behind you and who are interested in seeing you as an individual and the team do as well as you possibly can. So Harold and Mary, thank you for all of your support over the years. Again, thank you for this honor, and I wish the teams in the future all the success in the world, and it's great to keep up with them, and go Lakers.
Our next inductee is Miss Felicia Pinner West. Miss West was a graduate of 1978, and again, she exhibited excellence and had a trailblazing achievement. She was a multi-sport excellence athlete, a standout in 3 sports: basketball, cross country, and track and field, and a 4-year letterman in basketball and track. In basketball, she played center and forward from 1974 to 1978 and was co-captain in 1977 and 1978. In track and field, she exhibited dominance as well, competed in multiple events, including the 100, the 220, the 440-yard dashes, the long jump, the high jump, and the mile run, and set multiple school records in sprint events and relays. At the state level, her success was just as impressive. One of the most dominant runners in Kentucky, a 2-time state champion in the 440-yard dash in 1976 and 1978, and a 2-time state runner-up in 1975 and 1977. She had 4 consecutive state final appearances and established herself as a consistent elite performer. She was also recognized on the national level. In 1978 Mason-Dixon Games, she earned first place in the 60-yard dash. In the Las Vegas Invitational, a national elite meet, she had first place in the 100, the 220, and the 440-yard dashes, broke 2 meet records, and was named the most outstanding athlete, proving herself as a national caliber competitor. Her impact on the program was obvious. She helped elevate track and field's visibility in Calloway County and contributed to the growth of the program, including the development of improved facilities. Her collegiate career, she earned a scholarship to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and continued competing at an elite level as she qualified for the 1980 U.S. Olympic trials in the 400-meter and the mile relay. She earned All-American honors as the mile relay team, and unfortunately, the Olympic opportunity was impacted by the 1980 U.S. boycott of the Olympic Games. She was also recognized as a Kentucky State Athletic Hall of Fame in 2020 and widely recognized as a trailblazer for women athletics. She was supported by her family, Whitney Nelson, Tyler Nelson, and Joe West. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Felicia Pinner West.
Hello. This school has grown tremendously since I attended here, and I'm so proud of it. First, I would like to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for giving me the gift of athletic ability and the skills to perform at a high level. Without his guidance and grace, I would not be here with you today. In 1974, Title IX came on the scene at Calloway County High School and introduced organized sports for females. This opened many opportunities for females with athletic abilities to have a place to showcase their skills and to be recognized in the sports that they chose. This was a new and exciting time that I truly embraced. I had athletic ability but had no place to really showcase it or even know anything about how to go about doing that. It has always been told to me, and I truly believe this, Southwest Kentucky is one of the most athletic regions in the state to participate in sports and to advance to state competition. So if you could get out of this region unscathed with a victory, you were going to do well this state, and I did. I know a lot of focus has been put on my track and field accomplishments, but I would like to think I played a significant part in other sports, such as basketball and cross country. In the fall of 1977, it was the first year we had a cross country team. We didn't know much about the sport, but we all knew we wanted to compete, and we did. 3 of the girls from the first season qualified for state. That shows you the caliber of talent right here at Calloway County High School. I also hope my accomplishments and success have helped break ground and given the way for the future athletes at Calloway. I would like to thank the Calloway County Hall of Fame Athletic Committee for this prestigious honor and being one of the first inductees. I know they put a lot of their hearts into the nominations that were presented to them, and the selections were not taken lightly, but were done with great thought and consideration, so thank you. I would like to thank the many supporters I have had throughout my high school years and into college, whether it was a principal, teacher, coach, mentor, or one of my peers. I really couldn't have done it without the support, encouragement, and love of this community. Let me tell you just a little bit about this community. Hold on just a second. When a community meets you 25 miles outside of Murray, with a caravan of cars, trucks, and even a fire engine, with horns blaring and the roar of cheering, because you just returned from Las Vegas with the MVP award, with records you set there at an invitational meet that was nationally known, that speaks volumes about this community and how it supports its own. My grandmother would always say to me, "You don't have to toot your own horn, let others do it for you." This community did exactly that for me and more. That was an experience I will never forget. After the limelight and the sports fade and the real life starts with being a wife and a mother, I have so much more to be thankful for, and that's my husband Joe and my 2 adult children, Whitney and Tyler. Please don't hold it against Joe. He is a graduate of Murray High School. They have been my biggest fans and supporters. Even though they only have heard of my sports accomplishments, they see me as wife, friend, helpmate, loving and caring parent. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Again, thank you so much for this honor. I will cherish it as another milestone in my journey through life. Thank you so much.
We will now move to the team portion of today's induction ceremony, beginning with the 1984 KHSAA Class 2A Cross Country State Champions. This accomplishment was one of the most significant team accomplishments in Calloway County athletics and left a lasting standard for team success and competitive excellence. Throughout the season, this team demonstrated consistency and had strong performances both in the regular season and in postseason meets, and peaked at the right time with a championship performance at the state meet. The team embodied the true spirit of cross country, team-first mindset, and every runner contributing to the overall score, with success built on hard work, accountability, and pushing each other to improve. Led by head coach Dan Thompson, who emphasized preparation, mental toughness, and team unity, his leadership was instrumental in guiding the team to a championship. Help me in recognizing the following athletes who made history, and when I call your name, please come forward and see Colonel Kalyn. Mr. Mark Charlton. Kevin Garland. Rick Henniger. Barry Knight. Tim Manning. Scott Nix. Michael Ross. Randy Sons. And the head coach, Coach Dan Thompson.
I'll try to keep this short. I'm sure everyone would appreciate it. Congratulations to all our recipients today. This is a great place with a lot of memories. First off, I want to mention Jimmy Nix. In 1984, when this team won, I said it then, I've said it since, I'll say it again today. Jimmy Nix built this team. Our soccer complex is named after him for a very good reason. I'm sorry he can't be here today. I'd also like the family of Timmy Manning to stand up, please. In 1984, this team took 2 trips upstate to compete against the best competition in the state. This team had a high finish the year before. We went upstate to 2 big meets. We came back and beat all the top teams in our class in Kentucky. So 2 days before the state meet, the Courier-Journal came out with an article that named us as the favorites to win. So we went to Lexington under tremendous pressure. We were expected to win, and cross country is a lot more predictable than a sport like basketball or baseball. Things can happen in those sports. Cross country, it's all about training and experience and how much guts you have. And so we went up there with a lot of pressure. We won that day. It was a cool, cloudy day in Lexington. We won, and there wasn't a big celebration after we won. It was a big sigh of relief. But along with that, it was a deep satisfaction that lasts to this very day. This was the first state champion, first team state champion Calloway County ever had. I know Barry Knight over here was our senior that year. Barry, of course, if you know him, you know he competed long after high school. He was a real warrior. He was a warrior back in 1984. He was our team leader. It's just a great group of guys. I never had to yell at them on the course. That wasn't my style anyway. I knew they'd give 100%. And they always did, even the ones that didn't particularly like running. They gave 100% because they wanted to support each other. And that's really all I have to say. I don't know if any of you fellows wanted to say a word. This is Barry Knight.
I'd like to start off by saying, like Felicia put it best, I thank God for making all this happen. And I thank my Lord and Savior for everything that comes after that. And I could talk about the season that we had, all the invitationals that we won, in the mud and the rain and the heat. I could talk about all the traveling we did on the short bus to LBL to run the hills, and Lake Barkley and Ken Lake State Resorts. And I could talk about the times we had as guys, as teammates, as band of brothers, I would say. About when we come to an invitational with a jam box on the corner of our shoulder, rocking out to no parking on the dance floor. We were just kids. But like Coach Thompson said, I want to go back and talk about how it all began. Because the shoe's on the other foot now. I coach at McCracken County, and I've done that for the last 10 years, cross country and track. So I know the ups and the downs, the lows and the highs. I've heard the laughter, and I've felt the tears. But you have to go back. This didn't happen overnight. You have to go back and thank the people that made it all happen. Going back to the people that made you better each year. People like Hurley Chadwick, Darrell Harris, Paul Vogt, Mike Wicker, Mike Harlan. And you have to even go back and thank our coach at the middle school over here, Bill Miller. People like Ron Weiss, Dr. Ron Weiss, that helped us with our chiropractic needs. And of course, Dan Thompson come in and taught us new things that we hadn't heard before, to a bunch of guys with a lot of desire and a little bit of talent. And some of us with attitudes. But to go back, you have to go back to the beginning like Coach Thompson just said. You have to go back to Jimmy Nix. See, Jimmy Nix loved the sport of cross country. And he would gather us when I was a young kid and wanted to take us to these races out in the middle of nowhere. We went to the Banana Festival, went to Benton, went to Chicago actually for a race, and we ran on in the middle of the winter on a frozen beach. I'll never forget that. But Jimmy Nix provided for this team. We had things that if I get today, I have to go through the booster club. We had brand new running shoes for everybody on the team. They were called the Johnny Walkers, a famous miler. He provided with us new spikes, Nike waffle spikes that Nike just came out in the late 70s. He provided us with a parachute that we had a lot of fun with, that we would use as a tarp. We'd inflate it because we were kids now, and we would play in it at the meets. But we had the state-of-the-art medical bag with dextro tabs, salt tablets, quench gum, and gator gum. And we had this stuff called atomic bomb. And if you don't know what atomic bomb is, it's like icy hot on steroids. And you didn't dare, being young men we were, scratching the wrong places after you applied that. But Jimmy Nix also demanded performance out of us. And we took a lot of butt chewings when we raced bad. And I'm going to tell a story, the one that it still sticks with me today. We had ran the Marshall County Invitational, and the whole team run terrible. And he sat us down on the bleachers right across from the finish line. And he was chewing us up one side and down the other. And of course, I was sitting beside my best friend Darrell over here. And Jimmy's key word he would say all the time was, "Piss, boys. I could have got out there and run faster than you guys did." And Darrell said something under his breath and made me giggle, and that was the wrong thing to do. He took 2 steps over, and he got in front of Darrell's face, and he goes, "What's so funny, Harris? What's your excuse? You waited to the last 75 yards and passed 3 people like Jesse Owens. If you had put half that energy into the race, and you would have been like Steve Prefontaine and helped the team." And then he turned to me and he goes, "And you, Knight, you let a 3rd grader out sprint you across the line. What's your excuse?" I ducked my head. I knew whatever I said, there was no excuse I could come up with that was going to justify a 3rd grader beating me across the line. But what I remember most happened right before the race. We'd all gather up, as we do today when I do my cross-country teams, and we'll talk about our strategy in a circle, about who we want to beat, which teams we want to stay ahead of. And then I asked a member of my team to say a prayer. Coach Nix would do the same thing with us, but we would do something different. We all made to learn Matthew 6, 9 through 13. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as it is in earth and as it is in heaven. Give us our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. It is thy power, thy kingdom, and thy glory. Amen. And you do not realize how much of an influence a coach, a teacher, or a mentor will have on a young person's life. These men got to experience Coach Nix and the values he taught us. But as Coach Thompson said, one of our team members is not here today. He passed away during COVID. And that's Timmy Manning. And he loved the sport of cross country as much or more than all of us. And I went to speak at his funeral because I knew how much it meant to him and his family. And the reason I know that is I looked down into his casket and he was wearing his state championship ring. Now, I don't know how it got there. I don't know who put it on his finger or if he wore it all the time. But I do know this. He made it clear to all his loved ones how much his band of brothers and his 1984 cross-country team meant to him. Now, I look out in here at these people that are being inducted. And we all excelled at athletics when we were young. The fact is, we're all getting older now. And we've all lived long enough to realize that we're one heartbeat away from being in the exact same place Timmy Manning's at. The Apostle Paul tells us in 1 Timothy 4:8 that exercise is of some value, but godliness is value for all things. I will treasure the memories of these young men that I have in 1984 and the season we had. But I thank God for the values and the hard work and determination Coach Nix instilled in me. And I'm not ashamed to say he's my brother in Christ, as I hope that all of you out there are my brothers and sisters in Christ as well. God bless all of you.
Our next team to be inducted this morning, the 2004 KHSAA softball state champions. The season was defined by determination, resilience, and a championship-level performance. This team was District 4 champions, Region 1 champions, and advanced through a demanding state tournament double elimination bracket to become state champions. With wins over Mercy 2-1, Lafayette 3-2, Hopkins County Central 5-4, Owensboro Catholic 4-1, a loss to Owensboro Catholic 10-0, but to rebound in the state championship rematch and to claim the state championship with a 3-2 victory showcased clutch hitting, strong pitching, outstanding team defense, and a mental toughness and belief in one another. The following team members, when I call your name, please come see Colonel Kalyn. Whitney Hendon. Kason Hutching Higgins. Tracy Rose Cassie. Kalyn Fox. Amy Dial Dudley. Ashley Chadwick Callison. Chelsea Morris Futrell. Danielle McMillan Linson. Megan Kwambo Starks. Carrie Radke Bowen. Jessica Greer. Jessica Dial Free. And Marcy Bogus Odell. On the coaching staff, Eddie Morris, Tom Fox, Troy Webb, Pat McMillan, and C.J. Vaughn Frazier. And your head coach, James Pigg.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the committee for selecting our 2004 state champion softball team. As a member of the first group added to the Calloway County Sports Hall of Fame. In my opinion, you couldn't have had a better choice. I don't know how many of you here today are actually softball fans, but if you were with us in 2004, you know that you are and always will be a fan of this group of athletes, these wonderful ladies that played this game. I want you to use some softball facts this morning to tell you a little bit about our trip to the state championship. A hit that that allows the batter to get to first base safely is called a single. And the first group that I want to mention are the members of the administration of the Calloway County Schools and from 2004 and our loyal fan base who supported us all this time for that year. First, thank you for allowing me to have the opportunity to coach this wonderful group of young ladies. Also, thank you for supporting us on the unbelievable journey of 2004. Many of you were with us throughout the season and even lasted throughout our 22-inning game, which was quite an adventure. Then you were with us in Owensboro throughout the rain delays and until the final state championship victory over Owensboro Catholic at 2 a.m. in the morning, by the way. Without you, none of this would have happened, and thank you so much for your support. A hit that allows the batter to get to second base safely is called a double. And my second group to mention today is our wonderful team parents who supported us throughout this season. You brought your daughters to practice and to games. You washed their jerseys. You followed the team to every game. You cheered for every player. You took pictures, and I'm sure you were sometimes a shoulder to cry on. Yet you supported the coaches fully in our great ride together. Without you, none of this would have happened. So thank you very much for what you did in supporting us. A hit that allows the batter to get to third base safely is called a triple. My third group to mention today is my excellent coaching staff of 2004. They had tremendous softball knowledge and a love for every player on the team. They assisted me in many ways, helping with daily chores, pitching instructions, general knowledge, great decisions, and even telling a joke or two at timeouts at the pitcher's mound to relax the players and get everything like it should be. They had suggestions and answers for it all. Without you, none of this would happen. So thank you very much for the coaches and the support that they gave to the team. A hit that allows the batter to choose or to circle the bases, reach home safely and score a run is a home run. My fourth and final group to mention is this incredible collection of young ladies that made up the 2004 softball team. I would love to tell you something wonderful about each of them, but I have 5 minutes, and that would only be a start to get started talking about each one of them. I could talk about this season and these girls for hours, and we even have a video that I'd like to show you sometime that David made for us that you could watch, and I'm going to mention these individuals from time to time because we don't have time today to look at all that. They were a team together, and let me just tell you that they were all amazing. All of these girls played very hard in all the games, and they were truly champions. So thank you very much.
Our next inductee today will be Coach Sue Outland. Coach Outland was absolutely. Coach Outland was a pioneer, a coach, a teacher, and leader at Calloway County High School. For over a 25-year career ranging from 1968 to 1992 that was defined by leadership, dedication, and the empowerment of female athletes. Her coaching career included cheerleading from 1968 to 1979, girls track and field from 1968 to 1982, providing opportunities before Title IX, coaching athletes to excel at the state level. Girls cross country from 1977 to 1986, which established the program with 2 teams qualifying for the state meet every year. And girls tennis from 1983 to 1992, founding the girls tennis program. Her impact and legacy, she's known for mentorship, leadership, and creating opportunities for female athletes, credited with building programs that still thrive today. Some praise from her athletes. Miss Felicia Pinner West, in her comments, mentioned Sue was my mom and friend, an encourager, and a great support system. Miss Rose Ross said Sue was the consummate role model. Her steady, loving, competitive, and inclusive spirit shaped all the girls with whom she worked. Coach Outland's 25 years of service changed the lives of many. And it's an honor to welcome her into the Calloway County Athletic Hall of Fame. Please help me welcome Coach Sue Outland.
I think I've shrunk. First of all, I would just like to thank you for this great honor. I really appreciate it. However, I feel that this honor should go to the hundreds of girls that I coached at Calloway County during my 25 years. The girls were wonderful, and they always gave 100%, whether they were with track and field, cheerleading, cross country, or tennis. And they lost some meets, and they lost some matches. but they always managed to have a winning season every year. And that wasn't because of my coaching. That was because of their winning attitudes and efforts they had for the sport that they were in. I don't have enough time to tell you about all the outstanding athletes that I had in the 4 sports that I coached. So there are pictures, and you're going to have to look it up on the smart board. But anyway, it takes too long to tell because I had a lot of them. The most outstanding athlete that I coached during my 25 years was Felicia Pinner. And Felicia was the first athlete from Calloway County High School to win a state championship. I would like to thank Calloway County for letting me be part of your athletic program for 25 years. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Our next inductee, who was a contributor, is Mr. Jerry Ainley. Mr. Ainley was an educator, a leader, and a cornerstone of Calloway County athletics. Mr. Ainley was the longest tenured principal in Calloway County history as he served from 1978 to 1999, with a legacy defined by leadership, vision, and support for students and athletics. Mr. Ainley oversaw the development and expansion of the athletic programs and facilities. He ensured that athletics remained a core part of the educational experience here at Calloway County High School, and he advocated for teamwork, discipline, and pride in school and community. Mr. Ainley was known for his fairness, his dedication, and his genuine care for students, coaches, and staff, and even after retirement in 1999, continued to serve the families of Calloway County schools. He helped build the foundation for the success and reputation of Laker athletics that allows for the success that we have today. Mr. Ainley's career reflects a true lifelong commitment to education and athletics. And here to receive his award today is his daughter, Missy Ainley Crawford. Please help me honor Mr. Jerry Ainley.
I want to say a few words about Jerry Ainley. He was dearly a friend of mine. He hired me to be the athletic director, and when he hired me, he just said, "The job is yours." I asked him, "Well, what do I need to do?" And he said, "You'll figure it out." And I did. And he supported me with anything and everything I ever wanted to do. And I just want you all to know, I spent 20 years in the Army, and I did a lot of different jobs. Jerry Ainley was the best boss I ever worked for. Missy, you want to say something? Well, I love Jerry Ainley, and anybody that knew him felt the same way.
Our next inductees are a pair and have been for years. Mr. Harold and Mary Bynum. Mr. Harold and Miss Mary Bynum are lifelong supporters of Calloway County athletics, known for an unwavering dedication, generosity, and Laker pride. They attended nearly every major sporting event for decades, for over 25 years of never missing a football game, home or away. 50-plus years of attending home basketball games and numerous road contests. They supported athletes beyond the stands by providing meals, encouragement, and quiet assistance. Mr. Harold was a CCHS class of 1965 and former president of the Athletic Booster Club Hall of Fame, where he was recognized by Mr. Jerry Ainley as a top fan. Mr. Harold and Miss Mary viewed Laker athletics as a family to nurture, not just games to attend. They have a lifelong commitment and demonstrates the true spirit of what it means to be a Laker for life. Their dedication and generosity leave a lasting impact on the Calloway County Laker community. Mr. Harold and Miss Mary embody passion, loyalty, and heart. Please help me welcome and congratulate Mr. Harold and Miss Mary Bynum. Receiving the award and speaking on their behalf is their son, Mr. Chris Bynum.
I didn't prepare no speech like most people did. I'm going to tell a couple of stories. As most of you know, they sit up there most of the time during the games. And when we started talking about this, me and my sister was talking, and I started making a list of places he's been kicked out of, and I only got 5 minutes. So one story, Marshall County basketball game at Marshall County. We were sitting up at the top, and he made it down to the top rail. And at halftime, Mom said, "You better go with him." So he walks down the steps and meets officials coming off the floor, and he gives them a piece of his mind. And they said, "Buddy, we're going to throw you out of here." He said, "I've been thrown out of better places than this." Of course, then you got my sweet mom, got beat at Hopkinsville. Josh McKill was there. And they was letting Hopkinsville fans on the field to congratulate, but there was a cop standing at the gate, and he wouldn't let Callaway fans on after we got beat. And Mom said, "We're going on the field." And he said, "You can't go on the field." And she said, "Well, they're on the field." He said, "Ma'am, you can't go on the field." She said, "Well, you can't take all of us to jail." So they all went on the field. But my favorite one of all time is me and Kim were kids, and we went to Murray High, and we got beat on the last second shot. Pulling out of the parking lot, some Murray High kids told my dad he was #1 fan with the wrong finger. So he pulls out behind them. They stop at the red light right there on 16th Street right there. Dad gets out of the car and goes up and just kicks the side of their door of their car. Gets back in the car and we go home. But I say all this to say this. He was passionate about Callaway sports. It's what we knew as a family. And they're truly honored to receive this award. Thank you.
What a wonderful morning. A morning to get together to celebrate greatness, to reflect, to reconnect, and to spend time with family. Thank you for being here. A few things as we close. For the inductees, there are some T-shirts that are located up there by the concession stand. They're separated by sizes. Please take one. If we run out, please let me know. You can email me, and we'll work on getting you one and getting that mailed to you. Don't forget, Mr. Wright from the Murray Ledger and Times would like a picture of those that were honored. And also, we already have our first nomination for Mr. Brockman, but nominations for 2026 are right there on the board. You can scan that QR code. They're also available on our website. And again, the goal would be an annual recognition of those who have gone before us, those who have excelled, and those who are the Lakers for life. So today we have honored champions on the court, the track, the field. We've honored trailblazing coaches, dedicated administrators, and lifelong supporters of Calloway County athletics. Each inductee, team, and supporter represents the values of excellence, leadership, and commitment that define the Lakers spirit. If you would, please join me in one more warm round of applause for the inaugural class of the Calloway County Athletic Hall of Fame 2025. We thank you for your attendance and encourage you to come see us every chance you get. As we mentioned, nominations are being accepted for 2026. Thank you for your attendance. Please drive safely. May God bless each of you. And as always, go Lakers.